Hello everyone. So in this video, we will learn how to automatically add a Google Form respondent to Google Contacts. So basically, we are going to begin with a small example. So as you can see, I have already built a Google Form. It has been titled Free PDF Form. So the idea is that a guy called as Alan is going to fill in the form. So the name of the person is Alan. Okay, so this is the first name. And this is his email address. Alan Sylvester 123@gmail.com. So basically this is Alan's email address and this is Alan's phone number. Okay, so let me just click on submit. Okay, so a form submission has been made by a guy called as Alan Sylvester. So let me just straight away take you to Google Contacts and let me just search for a guy called as Alan Sylvester. Do we have an Alan Sylvester? Let me just search for Alan. Nope, nothing for Alan. Let me just refresh this. Okay, so as you can see, we do have a person called as Alan and this is his email address, alansylvester123@gmail.com. So now you're thinking, how did I do it? How did I manage to create a contact in Google Contact from Google Form responses? So basically here I have used an integration and automation software called as PabliConnect that integrates Google Forms and Google Contact. Now the best part of using PabliConnect is there is no need for coding skills or programming knowledge. Let me show you how it's done. So basically in the new tab, all you have to do is just type pabli.com. So your obvious question is why pabli.com and why the hell are we working in incognito mode? Well, the reason we are working in incognito mode is the integration of Google Forms involve the creation of Google Sheet. Now the problem with creation of Google Sheet is that if you have multiple Gmail accounts, there will be always the problem of authentication issues. So if you have multiple Gmail accounts and if you are working with Google Sheets or Google Form, always work on incognito mode. Otherwise, you will have the problem of authentication. Okay, so the reason we are working on pabli.com is we have an app called as PabliConnect that will integrate Google Forms and Google Contacts. So this is the website of pabli.com. Let me just click on sign in. Okay, so this is the dashboard of PabliConnect. As you can see, I already have made an account in PabliConnect. You can also create your own free account in just 2 minutes. Let me just scroll down and here you will find connect. Just click on access now. Okay, so basically we are going to create a new workflow to integrate Google Forms and Google Contact. Now before I create a new workflow, there is something I have to do. So as you can see, there is already a workflow running that has integrated Google Forms and Google Contact. Now, before I create a new workflow, I'm going to switch off this workflow. The reason I'm switching off this workflow is if I create a new workflow and if this old workflow is running parallel to it, there will be the problem of duplication of result. Basically, for the same response in Google Forms, there will be 2 contacts because there are 2 workflows running. So I have switched it off. It is actually none of your concern because we are going to start from scratch by clicking on create workflow. Okay, so I'm going to give a name. So how about Google Forms to Google Contacts. Okay, so let me just click on create. So when you click on create, a window appears in front of you. This is basically the trigger window. So basically we are going to create a new workflow. Now if you want to clone or replicate this workflow, the link of the template is available in the description box. Now in the choose app, how about we make it as Google Forms? Google Forms it is. Now in the trigger event, how about we make it as new response in spreadsheet? Okay, so new response in spreadsheet is a trigger event. So your obvious question is, what is a trigger event? Trigger is basically a if statement. It asks a question, if this condition is met, what should be done? For example, if a new response is made in Google Forms, then what action should be taken by the system? Now, basically your question is, why the hell are we working with new response in spreadsheet? It should be something like new response in Google Form. Why new response in spreadsheet? So basically the integration of Google Forms involves the creation of Google Sheet. So that is why the trigger event is mentioned as new response in spreadsheet. If you don't understand, let me show you how it's done. So first of all, let me just straight away take you to a form that I have built. So this is a new form. For your consideration, I have created a new form because we are going to begin everything from scratch. So this is the new form and let me just scroll down and this is the last field, that is address. Click on this field and make this field mandatory. Okay, so this field is mandatory. Now scroll up, click on responses. So basically, as you can see, there you will find an icon. So this is basically the associated spreadsheet. It will basically create an associated spreadsheet for this particular Google form. Let me just click on this. So as you can see, we have 2 choices. Create a new spreadsheet, select existing spreadsheet. we are going with create a new spreadsheet. Let me just click on create. Okay, so it is showing it is linking to the spreadsheet and a spreadsheet is being created. So as you can see, we have the same fields as columns. We have the first name, the last name, your email, your phone number and address. So these are the questions we have. First name, last name, your email, phone number and the address. Basically all the fields that is present here is now shown as columns. Along with that, we have this timestamp. Okay, so basically the timestamp is the time at which the response was generated. Okay, so basically the gist is when a response is filled in this particular Google form, it will send the data to this particular Google Sheet. I hope it is clear. So basically there is something I have to show you before we integrate this Google Sheet to Pabbly Connect. Now this Google Sheet has column F. Column F is our last data entry column. I repeat this again, column F is our last data entry column. So basically what we're going to do here is we're just going to integrate this Google Sheet to Pabbly Connect. So let me just click on add-ons. So when you click on add-ons, there must be an add-on called as Pabbly Connect Webhooks. Now since you're beginning fresh, Pabbly Connect Webhooks might not have been installed yet. So first of all, just click on get add-ons. Okay, so when you click on get add-ons, you will find Google Workspace Marketplace in front of you. So in the search, all you have to do is just type Pabbly Connect Webhooks. Pabbly Connect Webhooks. Okay, so basically all you have to do is just click on this button and Pabbly Connect Webhooks will be installed in your Google Sheet also. Now there is something you have to do after installing Pabbly Connect Webhooks. Do not forget to refresh your Google Sheet. I repeat this again, after installing Pabbly Connect Webhooks, do not forget to refresh your Google Sheet. So let me just click on cancel, go back to add-ons, clicking on Pabbly Connect Webhooks and just click on initial setup. So basically this is the window of initial setup. So as you can see, we have two fields, the webhook URL as well as the trigger column. Now, as I mentioned, the last data entry column is column F. Now the trigger column is always the last data entry column. So that is why I am mentioning the trigger column as column F. Now we have the webhook URL. So basically this is your webhook URL. You basically just copy this and simply paste it here. This is your webhook URL. All you have to do is just click on submit. Okay, so basically this means that we have integrated this particular Google Sheet to Pabbly Connect. So there is something else you have to do. Go to add-ons, Pabbly Connect Webhooks and just click on send on event. So this will ensure that anytime column F is filled, it will keep sending on the data. Okay, so what next? So basically we are going to conduct an experiment to check if there is a form response in Google Forms, Pabbly Connect can capture the data or not. So let's explore first. Yes, it is showing it is waiting for the data. So basically we are ready. Now let's do some experiment. So this is the form. Let me just cancel this old form. Okay, so this is the form. And let me just click on preview. Okay, now here we have actually two choices. The first choice is if the contact is already present in Google Contact. And the second choice is if the contact is not present in Google Contact. I hope it is clear. We have two choices. The first choice is if the contact is present in Google Contacts. The second choice is the respondent who is filling in the form is not present in Google Contacts. Now what if the contact is present in Google Contacts? So first we are going to work with the first condition. If the respondent is present in Google Contacts already. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to Google Contacts. Okay, and let me just select one person. So how about, let's say, Noora, how about Ricky Martin? Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to copy the email of Ricky Martin. So as you can see, this person, Ricky Martin, is already present in my Google Contacts. Remember this person is already present. So let me just fill in the form as Ricky Martin. So the first name is Ricky and the last name is Martin. Okay, and this is his email address. I'm just going to paste his email address. Okay, and this is his phone number, bunch of random numbers, and this is his address. Okay, so basically we have entered the details of Ricky Martin. Remember this, Ricky Martin is already present as a contact in Google Contact. So Ricky Martin is going to submit the form. The form submission has been made and straight away this data is going to go into Google Sheet. So we have the timestamp, the first name, the last name, the email. So basically this is the email of Ricky Martin. And then we have his phone number and of course the last data entry column, that is column F, that is of address, and this is his address. Now the last data entry column has been filled. So let's check whether Pabbly Connect has captured this data or not. Yes, we do have the data. So the first name is Ricky, the last name is Martin, this is the email, this is the phone number, and this is the address. So basically this is our first condition, that Ricky Martin, that is a person, is already present as a contact in Google Contact. Now what next? So basically we have to tell the system. Okay, so basically we have to tell the system that Ricky Martin is already present as a contact in Google Contact. So to help the system establish that Ricky Martin is already present as a contact, we have to ask it to search for Ricky Martin. Let me show you how we can do the search. So first of all, we have to ask Pabbly Connect to do a thorough search in Google Contact. Okay, Google Contact, to search for a person called as Ricky Martin. So in the action event, I'm going to make it as search a contact. So basically this box is an action window. In the choose app, I have mentioned Google Contacts, and the action event is search a contact. So basically it is going to search if this particular contact is present in Google Contact or not. Let me just click on connect. Click on connect with Google Contacts. Okay, so Google Contacts is present in this account, so I'm selecting this one. Now it is asking me to confirm my choice. Let me just press allow. Authorization successful, just press OK. So we have a field. Okay, so basically it is asking me to enter a variable through which, enter a value or a variable through which it can search. Now I'm going to put in the email. Okay, so basically I'm going to put in the email of Ricky Martin. So your obvious question is, we can actually search for in terms of name, in terms of last name, in terms of phone number. Yes, obviously you can do that. But the thing about email is emails are always unique. There is no such thing as two same email. Okay, so that is why we are going to use emails as our source of search. So I'm going to search the value as Ricky Martin. Okay, this is Ricky Martin's email address. So remember this, rickymartin123@gmail.com is already present as a contact in Google Contact. So when I click on save and send test request, it will fetch all the details of Ricky Martin that is already present in Google Contacts. Let me do that. Okay, so these are the details of Ricky Martin. Okay, so it has already established. Now there is some important thing that you have to know. So we have the E tag. Remember this is a very important thing. Okay, and then we have the ID. These are the two important things, very useful to create a contact. Okay, the E tag as well as the ID. So what's next? So basically what we are going to do here is, we have established that Ricky Martin is already present. So let me just show you with some examples. For example, let me just straight away go to Google Contacts and let me just search for a contact. Let's say gowat123@gmail.com. So this email is not present. A person called as Gowat is not present. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is, I'm just going to copy this. Remember this. This person is not present in our Google Contacts. So this person is not present. Let me just take you to Pabbly Connect and let me just remove this, paste this here. Okay. And basically it is going to look for this value, that is gowat123@gmail.com. Now obviously we know that this person is not present. So when I click on save and send test request, it will fetch 0 data. Let me show you. Okay, so as you can see, this person is not present. That is why the response is giving it as nil. Now let's do one more experiment. Let me just cancel this. Go back to contacts. Okay, so how about we go with this contact, Gartner Sharon. Okay, so what we are going to do here is, I'm just going to copy the details of Gartner Sharon. So obviously this person is present. This person is already present as a contact. Let me just go to Pabbly Connect. Let me just remove the string. Let me paste it here. Okay. And obviously since this person is already present in Google Contacts, it will definitely show some data. Okay, so we have the resource name, the person's E tag, and all those details. This is because Gartner Sharon is already present as a contact in Google Contacts. I hope it is clear what we are doing here. We are just trying to establish and help the system to figure out if this person is present as a contact in Google Contact or not. So let me just remove this and let me just enter back the detail of Ricky Martin. Okay, and once again, let me just click on save and send test request. Okay, so now it has been established that Ricky Martin is already present in the system. Now we have to establish two data routes. Okay, the first data route is, if the person is present in Google Contacts, then what should happen? If the person is not present in Google Contacts, then what should happen? So the idea is that if the person is already present as a contact in Google Contact, all we have to do is update him as a contact. Basically, if we have some details, extra details of Ricky Martin. All we have to do is update the contact. Now, if Ricky Martin is not present, then we create him as a contact in Google Contacts. So basically, we will have two streams of data, basically two routes. And that is why to split the data into two streams, we are going to use routers. So this is how you do it. You just click on this plus button, make the choose app as router by Pabbly. I hope it is clear. You can see from the icon itself, you have the data stream and it has been split into two routes. Now the route one is if the data is already present. I mean if the contact is already present. So let me just rename this as if the contact already present. Okay, let me just click on update. And this is the route 2. If the contact is not present. Okay, so these are the two conditions. Let me just click on update. So if the contact is already present, if the contact is not present. If the contact is already present, so we are going to work with this. If the contact is already present, all we have to do is update the details of that person. If the contact is not present, we are going to create him as a contact in Google Contact. So let's work with this condition. If the contact is already present, click on set filter and action step. Okay, so basically it is asking the condition. The condition is something like this. We click here, we go to the second accordion, and let me just type ID. Okay, so basically this is the ID associated with our contact. In our case is Ricky Martin. This ID definitely exists. Okay, so when I click on save and send test request, it will definitely fetch me the data that this condition is true. Let me show you. Okay, so it is showing the status as success. The condition is true because this ID definitely exists in Google Contact. So at this point, all you have to do is update him. So let me just click on the choose app as Google Contact. Okay, and let me just update the details of Ricky Martin. In the action event, how about we make it as update contact? Click on connect. Click on connect with Google Contacts. Okay. Press allow. Authorization successful. Press OK. Okay, so as you can see, we do have a bunch of fields. The purpose of these fields is very simple. We are going to create, we are not going to create, we are actually going to update a contact. We already have the data of this contact. We are just going to update him. Okay, so the contact ID, it is showing Tom. So basically these are all the peoples that are present in my Google Contact. Now what I'm going to do here is I just want the ID. So I'm just going to toggle this to the right. And basically I'm just going to map the ID. So basically this is your ID. You just click here. I'm sorry. So this is your ID. Let me just once again type ID. Okay, so this is your ID and you have mapped it. Now we also have to fill the contact E tag. So this is your E tag. You just click here. So you basically toggle this to the right and click here. And this is your E tag. Okay, so this is your E tag and you basically map this here. Okay, so I think we are ready. Now let's map in the first name. So this is your first name. I think it was Ricky. Okay, so no, I'm sorry. It should be something from here. That is the first accordion because we are going to update the details. So the first name is Ricky. The last name was Martin. So basically we are going to update any details that has been added extra. The gender is definitely male and this is his email address. Okay. And we do have some details of the address. So let me just map in the address. Okay. So all we have to do is at this point to update, just click on save and send test request. Okay, so the response, it is showing it as wrong. Unfortunately, I have entered some wrong detail. Let me just check which detail I have entered wrong. Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. This data is wrong. Contact ID was this one. I'm sorry. So this is the contact ID. Okay, you just map this detail here. So this is the ID you want. Okay, I unfortunately added some wrong detail. So this is your contact ID. Result 0 person resource name. Okay, so this is your contact ID. Contact E tag is right. All we have to do is once again, let me just click on save and send test request. I hope this time it will correct the problem? Yes. As you can see, the contact has been updated. Okay. So we are done with the first condition. That is if the contact is already present. So let me just click on done. Okay. Now let's work with the second condition. If the contact is not present. So let me just click on set filter and action step. Click on this and let me just click on the second accordion. And once again, let me just type ID. And this is your metadata for ID. Okay. We click here. And then we are going to make the filter as does not exist. Okay, so basically Ricky Martin definitely exists. So when I click on save and send test request, it will show the message as error because we have mentioned the filter type as does not exist. So let me just do that. Let me just click on save and send test request. Okay, so it is showing the status as error. The message as condition is false. Okay, so because Ricky Martin definitely exists. At this point, let me just click on done. Okay, so what's next? So basically we are going to work with the second condition if the person does not exist. So let me just go to Google Contacts. Okay. And let me search for a random name that definitely does not exist in my Google Contact. So how about a person called as Joel? Okay. So Joel doesn't exist. Okay. Joel or Joel Penny. So this is her email address. joelpenny1234@gmail.com. And let me just search for this person if she exists in Google Contact or not. Okay, so joelpenny1234@gmail.com does not exist. So I'm just going to copy this. Okay, and we are going to repeat the same process over again. I know it's troublesome, but it's actually pretty easy and pretty much fun. Okay, so once again, I'm just going to click on recapture webhook response. Click on yes. Okay, so let me just fill another response. So the first name is Joel. Remember this person does not exist in our Google Contact. Now the last name is Penny, Joel Penny. This is your email address. This is Joel's phone number, bunch of random numbers. And this is Joel's address, residential address. So let me just click on submit. Okay, so a form submission has been made by a person called as Joel Penny. So let me just straight away take you to Google Sheet to check if the data has arrived. Yes. So this is the data of Joel Penny. Okay, so we have got that. Okay, so as you can see, we have got all the data of Joel Penny. And let's explore whether Pabbly Connect has captured this data or not. Yes, we do have the data of Joel Penny. Excellent. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to refresh all this window. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to click on F5. Okay, so the window has been refreshed. Okay, so we have the data Joel Penny. So once again, if I click on save and send test request, it will definitely give the data as null. Okay, this is because Joel Penny definitely does not exist at this point in Google Contact. So let me do that. Let me just click on save and send test request. Yes, the response is null. And let's go to the action window. Click on the second condition if the contact is not present. Okay. Okay, so at this point it is error, full of errors. I am not full of errors. So let me just make the choose app as Google Contacts. Okay, and in the action event, how about we make it as create contact? Click on connect. Click on connect with Google Contacts. Okay, so this is the email in which we have the Google Contact. Press allow. Authorization successful. Okay, so we have some fields. Now the purpose of these fields is very simple. We are going to create a contact from the data we have received from Google Forms via Pabbly Connect. Now we have the first name. So this is how we get the data of the first name. So the first name is Joel. The last name is Penny. Then the gender is how about unspecified. How about we keep it as a general neutral name. And the email work is this, your email. And let's ignore the rest of the details. And let me enter the address city. Okay, so this is her address, and also we can fill in the phone number. So this is the phone number. Let's enter it here. Okay, so all we have to do is just click on save and send test request to create a contact called as Joel Penny. So let me do that. Okay, so a new contact has been created. So as you can see, we do have the ID and as well as the e tag of the newly created contact. So let me just click on done. Okay, go to Google Contacts and let me just once again search for Joel Penny. Let me just refresh this. Okay, so as you can see, we do have a contact Joel Penny. So the contact is Joel, this is the email address, this is the phone number. So basically the presence of this data or this contact in Google Contact shows that we have successfully integrated Google Forms and Google Contacts with help of Pabbly Connect. Now, before you leave, let me just explain you the whole mechanism in a nutshell. So first you integrated Google Forms to Pabbly Connect, and then you have received the data from Google Forms. After that, you have made Google Contacts to search if this person exists or not. Now then you have specified two routes. The first route is if the person exists in Google Contacts, all you have to do is update him or her as a new version of that contact. If the contact is not present, you have to create him as a contact. So now there's a perfect flow of data between Google Forms and Google Contacts. Excellent.